Chapter 15, Mishnah 7. The Mishnah cites a similar dispute. If a woman went overseas with her husband and father-in-law, and she returned and said, "My husband died, and then my father-in-law died," she may marry and collect her kasuba, because she is believed to say that her husband died. But her mother-in-law is forbidden to marry or collect her kasuba, because a mother-in-law may not remarry based on her daughter-in-law's testimony. If the mother-in-law was the daughter of Israel, who was married to a Cohen, that is, the father-in-law was a Cohen, and the mother-in-law was the daughter of Israel, she may continue to eat terumah on the presumption that her husband is still alive. Since the testimony of the daughter-in-law is not believed with regard to her mother-in-law, the mother-in-law may continue to act in every way as though her husband is still alive. This is the opinion of Rabbi Tarfon. But Rabbi Akiva says, this is not the way to free her from the possibility of sin. Rather, she could be assured of not sinning, only if she will be forbidden to remarry and forbidden to eat terumah. Although her daughter-in-law's testimony is not believed to allow her to remarry, there is nevertheless a doubt whether her husband is still alive. Therefore, to ensure that she does not sin, she may not remarry, because her husband might be alive, and she may not eat terumah because her husband might be dead. Having mentioned two disputes between Rabbi Tarfon and Rabbi Akiva, the Mishnah now cites other disputes between them in which Rabbi Akiva uses a similar argument. The first dispute concerns a man who betrothed a woman by cohabiting with her. Although that is an effective mean of betrothal, it is forbidden by the sages for reasons of modesty. If someone betrothed with cohabitation one of 5 women, but he does not know which one he betrothed, and each woman says, "He betrothed me," he must give a get to each of them before she can marry another man. And he places the money of one kasuba between them and thereby removes himself from the obligation of paying the kasuba. Since each woman claims that she is betrothed to him, none of them may marry until she receives a get from him. However, since he betrothed only one woman, he does not have to pay more than one kasuba. This is the opinion of Rabbi Tarfon. But Rabbi Akiva says, this is not the way to free him from the possibility of sin, i.e. the sin of theft, which he will transgress if he does not pay the kasuba he owes. Rather, he can be assured of fulfilling his obligation to pay the kasuba only if he gives a get and a kasuba to each woman. Since he owes this kasuba on account of having betrothed a woman through cohabitation, which is rabbinically prohibited, the sages imposed a penalty that in order to discharge his obligation of paying the kasuba, he must pay every claimant. Another dispute between Rabbi Tarfon and Rabbi Akiva. If someone stole from one of 5 people and does not know from which one he stole, and each one says, "He stole from me," he places the stolen object between them and thereby removes himself from the obligation to repay the theft. Since he stole only one object, he does not have to repay more than one object. This is the opinion of Rabbi Tarfon. But Rabbi Akiva says, this is not the way to free him from the possibility of sin. Rather, he can be assured that he has repaid the theft, only if he repays the value of the stolen object to each person. Since he owes this money because he took it unlawfully, the sages penalized him that in order to fulfill his obligation to repay the theft, he must repay everyone who claims to have been the victim of the theft.